Yuzuki and Akemitsu arrive back at the temple, and Tsukuyo is relief. The very next day, Tsukuyo and Yuzuki are strolling on their way to school. Yuzuki decides this is a good moment to mention they had to stay at a love hotel due to a lack of other options. But nothing happened, she adds quickly. Tsukuyo, with a bit of sternness, instructs Yuzuki not to let anyone know that Akemitsu is living at the temple with them. Tsukuyo's back in class, and her friends Mana and Yuki can't wait to corner her. They've heard a rumor that Tsukuyo has a boyfriend. Tsukuyo panics. Without thinking, she clarifies that the red-haired boy, Akemitsu, is actually just a monk at her family's temple. And oh, they've only shared an accidental kiss. Her friends are immediately intrigued and push for more details. She then spots Akemitsu through the window. He's holding a lunchbox, her forgotten lunchbox. She dashes out of the classroom, literally knocks Akemitsu out and drags him into the school's infirmary. But they're not alone for long. A knock at the door, it's her friends. Tsukuyo puts Akemitsu under a blanket, pressing his face against her chest. As she talks to her friends, Akemitsu overhears something serious. Tsukuyo quit the archery club to manage housework at the temple. After her friends leave, Akemitsu promises he'll take over the chores so she can rejoin the archery club. But just when they're having this heartfelt moment, her friends burst back in, catching them in a highly awkward situation. We get flashback where Tsukuyo originally took up archery because she admired Yuzuki's talent. But when Yuzuki quit, so did she. Cut to the present, Akemitsu is cleaning at the temple. Yuzuki casually asks if he'd like to try archery. Absolutely, he says without hesitation. After they're done shooting arrows, Yuzuki spills some tea. She left the archery club voluntarily, even though she loves the sport. Akemitsu, in an absolutely daring move, ties a rope to his feet and dangles from the roof just to chat with Tsukuyo through her window. He nearly hangs himself. Tsukuyo lets him in, only to basically say, "Archery's not my thing anymore." And off she goes. So Tsukuyo is walking, and she unintentionally stumbles into the archery club. She's caught red-handed by Akemitsu while having a blast. She bolts like she just saw a ghost. When he catches up, she spills the beans. She still loves archery, but felt super guilty because she thought Yuzuki had to quit to take care of temple stuff. Akemitsu shows her Yuzuki is still practicing archery at the temple. But here's the kicker. Yuzuki is a terrible shot. Yep, she didn't quit for the temple. She quit because she couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Guilt evaporated. Tsukuyo is now contemplating grabbing her bow again, and even Yuzuki asks her for some lessons. Tsukuyo thanks Akemitsu for helping. He opens up and says he just wants to see her happy because he knows what it's like to have family hold you back. Oh, that's sweet, but wait. Tsukuyo reveals he left a hickey on her during their infirmary escapade. And she writes "pervgami" on his forehead. Tsukuyo forgets her bento on purpose the next day, when Akemitsu delivers it like a good temple brother should. She takes this golden opportunity to set the record straight with her nosy friends, saying he's part of her family. Akemitsu walks away, couldn't be happier seeing Tsukuyo rejoin the archery club and flash that radiant smile. Kuraga, scribbling away in her diary. She's talking all about her excitement of finally being an adult or, well, a high schooler, which is close enough. The best part? She appreciates how Akemitsu treats her like a grown woman. Plus, she's totally loving the changes around the temple since Mr. Culinary Wizard Akemitsu moved in. Secret meeting alert, the girls are facing a crisis. Since Akemitsu took over the kitchen, the scales have not been kind. Tsukuyo steps up, suggesting exercise as their new best friend. Unanimous agreement, time to sweat out those delicious calories. So they go for Pilates, expecting miracles. Spoiler alert, no miracles today. When that doesn't work, they consider the D word, dieting. Tsukuyo turns 50 shades of red at the thought of confessing this dieting idea to Akemitsu. The other girls catch on and tease her, saying she should just marry Akemitsu so they can eat his divine food guilt-free. Kuraga is all in, practically planning the wedding already. But then Yuzuki, the voice of reason, pipes up. She argues maybe they're gaining weight cause, they're growing. Makes sense, especially since Akimitsu's cooking is mostly veggie central. Just as they're nodding in agreement, Akemitsu appears, tempting them with homemade sweets. Their resolution? Stop checking their weight so much. Problem solved, or rather, problem ignored. Next day, Yuzuki's making a simple request in the kitchen. Pickled radishes in her meals. But wait, why is she holding an axe? Akemitsu's imagination runs wild. He thinks he's about to be turned into a radish himself. Executed, that is. The panic deepens. Akemitsu sees Yuzuki's less than pleased expression while eating those pickled radishes she asked for. He goes weak in the knees and faints, but hold on, Yuzuki's strange behavior has nothing to do with Akemitsu. She's actually gearing up for intense training to become the head priestess. Akemitsu breathes the biggest sigh of relief. To motivate Yuzuki, Akemitsu decides to undergo the same rigorous training Yuzuki's facing. And guess what? Mia jumps on the bandwagon too. But before anyone stretches a muscle, Kiki lays down the rules. They have to undergo Takudo, which is studying sutras and rituals. As they chop wood for training, Kiki spills the tea. Normally, it takes a year to become a priestess, but Yuzuki's on turbo mode, trying to do it in just 6 months. Why the rush? To keep the temple doors open, that's why. Just when you think you've got a grasp on the stakes, in walks Kijo with a bombshell. He says Yuzuki's gotta seal the priestess deal in 3 months, or he's calling off their faux engagement. After Kijo drops that deadline bombshell, the crew jumps into action, training mode activated. Kiki, our taskmaster, sets the first rule, purity, right down to their underwear. Yeah, you heard it, white undies only. Small problem, Akemitsu, Yuzuki, and Mia don't have any white underwear. So Kiki, not missing a beat, suggests the unthinkable. Go commando. First up, meditation. The goal is to train the mind, but poor Akemitsu's focus is shattered. The jiggle physics of the girls around him proves too much for him to handle, if you catch my drift. Then comes sutra copying. Akemitsu has killer handwriting, so Kiki asks him to coach Yuzuki. But the dude's luck runs out. He gets a bit distracted by a scenic view and splashes ink all over his, crotch region. This sends Mia's imagination to places it probably shouldn't go, forcing Yuzuki to snap everyone back to reality with a good old Akemitsu beatdown. After these hilarious and somewhat awkward fiascos, the gang rushes to buy white underwear. Crisis averted. But wait, there's more. Kiki's got another training curveball. Everyone's sharing a bedroom. The pace is brutal, but there's a reason. Kiki reveals that a secret meeting of sect leaders is coming up in 3 months, and they absolutely must have a head priest by then. Next day comes, and as expected, no one's getting any shut-eye, and Kiki decides it's sauna time. Apparently, the end goal is enlightenment through exposure. Get so used to being around the opposite sex that lewd thoughts just evaporate. During this spiritual exercise, Akemitsu and Mia bare their souls, spilling all their guilty thoughts and secret fetishes. The idea is to fast-track to enlightenment. But Yuzuki? She clams up, guarding her brewing pot of jealousy and hidden feelings for Akemitsu. After this hot mess of a training, Kiki decides to be a softie and gives them Christmas Eve off. But get this, Akemitsu is scared of Christmas. Like, genuinely terrified. Why? His dad's girlfriends used to brawl over him every holiday season. Yuzuki, sensing his dread, drags him to do some Christmas shopping. And it works. The dude lightens up and actually enjoys himself. A Christmas miracle? While they're out shopping for prayer beads, they bump into Mari, Yuzuki's senpai. Plot twist, she thinks they're a couple on a Christmas date. Cue the blushing and awkward giggles. Yuzuki's not having it though, grabs the prayer beads and bounces out of there like a bat out of hell. Now here's where it gets juicy. The other temple ladies gather and talk about how they went from plotting Akemitsu's eviction to now wanting him around forever. But hold up, Kagura's got a side-eye for Akemitsu. She's viewing him as a problem that she needs to deal with. It's Christmas Day, and the temple turns into party central. Akimitsu's got a feast whipped up that would put any holiday dinner to shame. Kuraga is so smitten, she straight up asks him to marry her. Like, right then and there. Slow down, girl. Now, gift exchanges are usually innocent, right? Wrong! This one turns 50 shades of awkward real quick. They've got a marriage license, an adult toy, and a DVD of Mia in, let's just say, a natural state. Oh boy, the cringe. But Kagura swoops in like the savior to the awkwardness and hands out hot spring tickets for everyone. After the party, Yuzuki opens up to Akemitsu, telling him how his presence has sprinkled a dash of fun into their temple lives. He decides it's the perfect time to give her his personal gift. And a huge surprise, it turns out they both got each other prayer beads. Not only is it a perfect match, but it's also, get this, a Buddhist wedding ritual. Their faces go all kinds of red. Just when you thought we'd get a Hallmark moment, Kiki bursts in like a wrecking ball with news that the sect leaders are coming for an inspection. Yuzuki panics because their temple idol is basically a duct tape masterpiece. Like, could this timing be any worse? So they all head to the hot springs to blow off some steam. Little do they know, it's mixed bathing. But wait, there's more. Kagura pulls some strings to get Akimitsu a spicy drink that's supposed to, rev him up. While soaking in the hot springs, Mia drops a sentiment bomb on us. Kagura's been her BFF since they were kids, and she appreciates her friendship with Kagura. Now let's not forget about Akimitsu. The dude's stuck in a literal hot spot. First, he got caught in a mixed bath, and now he's all jazzed up from the spicy drink Kagura gave him. She then tries to label him as a creeper to the girls, but the girls ain't buying it. They know it was just an honest mix-up. And Kagura? Not pleased. Kagura takes Akemitsu aside and tries to, how do I put this, turn up the heat. But no dice. The guy's got willpower like a monk. Frustrated, Kagura spills the beans. Her grand plan is to turn Mia into the erotic queen of the Kristoff family. Yeah, you heard that right. But when Mia strolls in, Kagura goes full magician mode, hypnotizes them both, and stashes Akemitsu in the storeroom. Now it's Kagura's turn to interrogate. She asks Akemitsu why he's even at the temple. He's not just here for the fun, folks. He's settling his dad's debts. Kagura pulls out the big guns, offering to fix all his financial woes and restore the temple. The catch? He's gotta pack his bags and leave. Forever. Akemitsu's left with the ultimate dilemma. What will he do next? That's a wrap for today, my anime aficionados. Can't wait to dissect the next episode with you. Until then, keep those eyes peeled and snacks at the ready. Peace out!